All right, good evening, everybody. What a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm Yolanda Hinton, host here with FYI After Dark. We got a great show for you, a great guest. But I tell you what, I need 30 minutes. We're going to pull in Instagram and TikTok. Y'all ready? You're going to give me 30 minutes and then we will be back. And we are back. We have pulled in our TikTok audience and Instagram, and we are ready to go. Let me welcome the rest of our viewers, and that's Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, of course, again, Instagram and TikTok. TikTok, we're new to you all, and FYI, After Dark is our first time being on with you. You all come to us when we're on FYI Morning Show, but this is our first FYI After Dark meeting. I hope you all enjoy yourself. I hope you're engaged in the conversation. And we want to thank you again for joining us. We want to thank you for your support. All you guys out there, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We will appreciate the numbers and appreciate being able to reach more and more people. We want to welcome our sponsors, of course. We want to go to beardguards.com. Please check out www.beardguards.com. That's BEARDGODZ. Great products for beards. Mr. Chris Hinton is the owner. He has great balms. He has shampoo. He has conditioners, hoodies, picks, vitamins, you name it, it's there. Check out the website for great information at www.beardguards.com. Also, Bulvic, BULVIC. This is anti-bullying month. And so this would be a great website for you all to go on, www.bulvicacademy.com. It's BULVIC. A lot of anti-bullying information, a lot of things that you can engage in with your children, books. We got a game app, Bulvic up there. You can find it on the website, but you can also go to Google Play, and you can also go to iTunes.com, and you can just go in and put Bulvic, BULVIC. The game will pop up. You can download it and enjoy the game with your family. We are also, you can, acx.com, where you can download the Audible book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, and the Diary of a Former Bully. Check out those sponsors, check out the websites, any information you need, inbox, or you can right there at the site, send a message to either of those sponsors. I tell you what, I'm excited. I don't want to delay anything because my very special guest, Mr. Jason L. Baker. This is Jason. Jason, I'm not quite sure. I think it may be your third time with us here after dark, but you're here. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency, money, and more. But you got a great topic for us this evening, which I'm so excited about. It says the need for 55 plus citizens to remain current with innovation. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, Jason, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me back on. Again, I'm Jay Baker. I'm a crypto enthusiast. Essentially, what that means is I believe in the way ahead for crypto, and it is one of those phenomenons that happen, once in a millennia or so, that kind of change the way the dynamic of finance. And particularly, I see it as something that is going to have global impact in the future. I've been an enthusiast for about 10 years now, and I have seen how crypto has galvanized into the mainstream over the years, especially during this current administration, where Bitcoin, the OG of crypto, is now part of the United States Strategic Reserve, and other countries are also scrambling to be able to acquire Bitcoin into their strategic reserve, and they see it as a hedge against inflation, as well as a form of, I guess you'd call it crypto gold, as they call it. So that really is the long and the short about me.
Jason, were you surprised that this came into existence? Um, was it something that you kind of like a lot of people drew back a little bit and said, okay, now what's this? And we're used to, our money, our currency, but all of a sudden, what's this thing? What's this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin? What was your mindset toward when you first discovered it?
So I first discovered it, I believe it was a a piece that Inside Edition did, and this was back in the early 2000s. They were talking about a family who had essentially sacrificed everything to mining Bitcoin. And we're like, what in the world is that? And they said all their neighbors, their family thought they were cuckoo because they're like, what in the world is a Bitcoin? What is it supposed to do? And fast forward just 10 short years, and that same family are multi-billionaires.
Wow.
I'm sorry, multi-millionaires.
Millionaire.
And we're talking about in the high hundred-figure millionaire status. There was also a gentleman whose name I won't mention him, but he's pretty popular in the 2000 teens. He was on YouTube begging individuals to just buy one Bitcoin when Bitcoin was $1. And it was one thing about cryptocurrency back then. It was about accessibility and understanding the technology. And a lot of folks didn't understand how to access or get access to cryptocurrency, and we didn't have the technology readily available to be able to participate. And so for many, particularly myself, we searched and searched. And when I finally found out about cryptocurrency, it was a novel coin that was a startup, and it failed.
Wow.
My introduction to cryptocurrency was through a failed startup where I lost a lot of money. And so, but eventually I found my way to exchanges and decentralized exchanges, and I was able to get a toehold into crypto. By that time, I tell you, I was very skittish, and I wasn't jumping in head first. I was kind of like dipping my toe in where I should have not been skittish. I've probably been a way lot further along than I am today. But the thing is about it is when it comes to risk, you got to be able to assess risk, and you got to be able to make the best decision based on what you know at the time.
Wow. I tell you what, things are moving ahead. Things are, you say that it is innovation and technology is moving at a rate that is outpacing our humanity. You said the race for technological dominance through AI, artificial intelligence, is reshaping the landscape, and in some cases, leaving a particular populations of citizens vulnerable and left behind. But my question first, before we get into that, Jason, innovation, technology, that's something that we welcome, isn't it?
We is dependent on what generation you're speaking of.
Okay.
So when I look at the we's that are being born into the technological infrastructure are your Gen A's, your Gen Z's, your millennials. But your zillennials, Gen X's, and baby boomers, and particularly baby boomers and Gen X's, we're up in age where we remember the analog days.
Yes.
We remember Bell South reach out and touch someone. We remember picking up the phone to call someone if you want to get in contact with them. We remember this thing called customer service when you call a company and you have a human being on the other end to help you with your problem. We remember, rotary phones. We remember, dial phones, and we've been introduced in our adult years to iPhones and Androids, and
Yes.
now progressing to AI. And so, if you were to ask the average Gen X or baby boomer how they utilize AI on their daily life, someone would say, "What in the world is that?"
Yes.
And it wouldn't say it from the perspective of they've never heard of it, but they don't understand it. So that's part one. Part two is even if they understand, they'd be like, I wouldn't know what to do with it. So essentially, we are becoming the generation of the blinking 12 o'clock VCR, like our parents did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So AI, explain AI to our listeners. And the second question to that, did AI suddenly creep in slowly? Is that how technology works and innovation, that it slowly leaks into our society?
Well, I'll explain artificial intelligence just as simplistically as I can. Artificial intelligence, various platforms used to augment human interface. So the bottom line, it's to make processes faster and more effective and more efficient. And when I think of AI, I think about it from a business operations perspective. I think it from a corporate perspective and how it delivers services, and based off of that business's platform, possibly goods as well to the consumer. From a individual perspective, the first thing I think about is content creators. Some of them are incorporating the utilization of AI to speed up the delivery of their content to their audiences. And it's one of those things where I mentioned in previous podcasts with you here is that we kind of are attention deficit. We have attention deficit disorder here in our
Yeah,
society, and we can't pay attention to too much at a time because there's always something there to grab it. And so that's what AI is kind of being utilized for in the content creation to to grab your attention with the next flashy color for you to go ooh, and
yes.
and that's what it is. And it's a constant churn of information and excitement and entertainment from the creator to the consumer.
Absolutely. So you talk about those that are most vulnerable to change, whether it's a lack of education or preparation or fear. There are some that will get lost in the sauce for some reason or another. You note that specifically the rise of cryptocurrency and recent legislative actions to normalize it has created opportunities for online and phone scammers. These
Yes.
individuals and even conglomerates seek to infiltrate, disguise, and deceive the vulnerable, most vulnerable of the 55 and older crowd. You said as AI continues to advance, scammers can maximize means to target older populations who might find themselves beguiled by technology. Let's talk about that. How do older people find themselves vulnerable targets?
Well, there's a couple of factors. I mentioned previously what we. So I'm retired,
Uh huh.
uh,
Yes.
and a lot of folks my age and older are either retired or retiring. And what do we do when we retire? We we turn that
Absolutely.
off. And
Yes.
anything that has to do with work, anything that brings on stress, anxiety, it makes us have to think too much, out of here. Why? Because what's the whole point of retirement? To get rid of all the stress, the anxieties, and all the hoopla that we had to go through when we're in the working environment. The working environment for a lot of people, particularly if you're utilizing technology to communicate, is what keeps us sharp and what keeps us current.
Ah.
But when you get away from that environment, you're no longer integrated into the technologies that are being utilized on a day-to-day basis to keep businesses going, to keep communication going, from corporate to consumer, or from creator to consumer.
Okay.
So as a result of us distancing ourselves from the everyday utilization of technology, well, technology continues to advance, and it advances around us, and we kind of find ourselves unaware of what's going on.
Wow. I mean, as fast as technology is moving, I mean, where does that leave those that don't keep up? What's on their
It,
mind? What are they
it,
thinking? How
it
how are they existing, Jay?
leaves them as a target. And so,
Woo.
just a couple examples that I've seen in the news. Um, and these are not new,
Hmm.
where the elderly have been scammed by someone posing as a representative from their bank,
Wow.
or they've been scammed by an opportunity that will make them money because they're on hard times. Or they've been scammed because someone has invited them to join some type of a group, and they're lonely and they want to be a part of the group, and they end up, getting into a romance scandal or a romance.
Yes.
So isolation is one of those things. And when I say isolation, it could be physical, it can be financial, it could be intellectual, philosophical, social. Those are the things that leave us vulnerable the longer that we isolate ourselves away from it. And scammers are getting a lot more sophisticated in their approach, and their intent is to build trust
Yes.
in order to gain an advantage through manipulation, and to take an unwitting elderly person, and I consider myself in that group, the AARP and above group.
You said, Jay.
um, and take us for a ride that we won't be able to recover from in our age.
And it's so easy. And you talk about artificial intelligence. You talk about something that can actually mimic something that looks real, sounds real.
Mimic it.
It may even disguise itself as a family member or
Yes,
somebody else that you know. It is very clever and very
yes,
deceitful at times.
very much, very much so. And so it gets to a point where we have to be exceptionally vigilant. It is sad that I say this, that less trusting
Yes. Yes.
or skeptical when someone is reaching out to us and we didn't reach out to them.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the things that I really kind of am a cheerleader for folks 55 and above, to stay constant with technology so that there is an awareness of what's going on. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So the bigger context is this, and I'm going to bring it back into cryptocurrency.
Hmm.
Understanding that um, stablecoin legislation is out there. Understanding the Genius Act, understanding that there are additional legislative actions that are still at play.
Oh,
Once cryptocurrency becomes a new normal, where will that leave the 55 and older when their banks say we now operate with a stable coin? Well, the average person will be like, what in the world's a stable coin? I deal
hmm.
with dollars. And I'll give you a quick example. And I've given this example before. If you go back to the 1970s, and I'm just going to go to the 70s, it was cash. Cash was king.
Yes.
They introduced they introduced checks. So in the late 70s, folks were paying with checks. Then in the 80s, Visa, MasterCard, they started a campaign mainstream in the late 70s. In the 80s, folks were starting to use credit cards. Well, You go to a vendor, a mom and pop shop, and you present your credit card, they're gonna be like, "You don't have cash?"
Yes.
Cash. Fast forward to 2025, you go to a vendor and you pull out cash, and they're like, "We don't accept
Absolutely.
cash. You don't have a credit card?" And you see how the dynamic has changed?
Yes.
One time, you show a credit card, and it's like, "What the heck is that? Give me some cash." And now it's, "What the heck is this paper stuff? Give me your card." And the dynamic has changed in just a half century.
Yes.
Imagine what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years where somebody says, "What in the world's a dollar?" Got rid of those.
Yes.
Okay. What people don't remember too much about, dollar used to be pegged to gold. So the bottom line is, let's go back to 1917, 1920, where a dollar was pegged to gold. So a dollar equaled one ounce of gold. Well, an ounce of gold is worth, last I checked, $4,100.
Mm-hmm.
The dollar is about worth 3 cents of its value. So the times have changed when it comes to the power of the dollar. The other thing, the dollar went from being pegged to gold, and then you've got the dollar being pegged to oil. So you've got what you call, and it escapes me, but you got OPEC, and you've got the crypto dollar, or not the crude dollar. And I'm not saying that right. Somebody put that in the comments. But so you take it from the gold standard, and you peg it to oil, and you also peg it to trust. And then a trust is eroded. You've got a whole thing called BRICS that's happening, and that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and several other nations that have come together to bypass the whole dollar system. And the dollar still has to remain the world global currency, and it's fighting its way to do that. And so now you've got competition between currencies in real time right now. What do you do if BRICS wins and the dollar is no longer the reserve currency, just like the pound used to be the reserve currency in the early 19th century?
Yes.
And then it had to pass off to the dollar. What do you do when the dollar ain't it anymore? And you introduce this new technology that has ones and zeros in code, and they say, this is how we utilize remittance for transactions henceforward. What do you do?
Wow. You know, Jason, we're going to talk about how older people, citizens, can protect themselves against scammers. But I have a question that I'm not sure. I hope you understand it, or let's try to find an answer to it. But you have your creators, your innovators. These people have what? Sat back and have sat back and discovered how you move things, forward. But on the other hand, those that are the scammers, they must have. I mean, do they have a different strategy? Do they know the what the AI is? Are they learn it in AI and cryptocurrency in order to scam? You have the creators; they're not the same as the crooks, are they? Or how do you see it? How is it that people now can so easily sit there and come up with schemes
Yeah.
without knowing or either not knowing the system of technology, innovation, and things?
I got you. So I'm going to do this from a philosophical perspective. And I am not assessing, I'm going to talk about good and evil. And I'm not good or evil on entity. But you have good and evil, and those are what you call universal truths. And then in the middle, you got the human being. And good and evil are in the fight to win you over.
Mhm.
So good is constantly trying to push good, and evil is trying to constantly push evil. They're each trying to get your attention to win you over.
Wow.
Now let's talk about corporate and corporations and institutions and the institution of scammery.
Mm-hmm.
Where both of them are using technology. Both of them are innovative. Both of them are becoming more complex. Both of them have infrastructure, and both of them are trying to win you over. The corporations and the conglomerates are trying to win you over to stay in business by providing you goods and services. And the scammers are trying to win you over to take your goods and your
Absolutely.
money. And both of them are competing for you. So we're the target one way or the other. We're the target whether it comes to buying the latest iPhone or uh, trying to dip into the latest crypto craze that is a pump and dump, and you end up putting your money in, and they pull the rug, and you're left with nothing. So we're constantly being targeted by whether it be corporations or scammers. And they're going to find ways through technology, through psychology, and through constant engagement to fish and catch whom they can.
Wow. I want to ask you a question, your opinion about crime as a whole. Crime that we know of in the streets, you know, you have the murder, you got theft. Those things are, is crime going down in our society, but on a different level with technology? Is that where the real crime is now? The numbers, are they getting bigger where crime, that's where real crime is? Do you feel like the numbers of murders and all that kind of stuff will be going down
Yeah. So that's
compared to?
kind
Mhm.
of a funny question. Uh,
Mhm.
and I gotta poke DC for this one.
Uh-huh.
Because if you recall, the whole DC and the administration sending National Guard to DC saying crime was out of control,
Yes.
and he's saying, well, crime is on the decline. The way I see crime is it's only important when it's happening to you.
Tell the truth. Yes.
So the bottom line is if you're not in a situation where you're encountering shady or sketchy activity, you don't think about it. You may hear about it, but it's not something that's a constant or imminent concern. But if you're in the midst of it,
Yes.
it is one of your greatest concerns on a day-to-day basis. And so
Okay.
that's the way I see it. So it's conditional based on the environment. The other piece is crime is crime.
Hmm.
So whether it be someone attempting to just take someone's life, someone trying to rob someone,
Hmm.
someone doing something malicious to someone, or if if it if it's against the law,
Yes.
doesn't matter what spectrum it's on, it's crime.
Wow.
And the line is nobody wants to be taken advantage of. And I will say this, I don't rest better at night knowing that murders are down and scams are up.
Mm.
Because the bottom line, if murders are down and I'm the next victim,
Jesus.
what difference do it make?
Absolutely. Let's talk about how older citizens can protect themselves against scammers. Give us some tips.
Yes. Uh, First things first
Hmm.
is um, it's all about the approach. Unsolicited contact.
Wow.
Your alarm should go off immediately. The bank is calling you. Banks don't do that anymore.
Whew.
Not as they used to. Now, if
Absolutely.
it's something serious, The bank may call you and they'll say, go in the app. And we have a message for you. But if they're saying go in the app while we're on the phone, something's wrong about that.
Yes.
If you're getting an email, if you're getting a call, and they want to find out information about you, you get an unsolicited email and says click this link.
Wow.
And so it's easy to get caught up in this stuff. Or I'll give you an example. There was a gentleman who's into crypto, and he takes on students. And he was talking about there was someone that reached out to him, and they wanted to have just a like we're doing right now. They want to have a telecon with him, and so they sent him their link to link up with him, and so he clicked it.
Oh wow.
And then they were like, "Well, we're having technical difficulties with the link. Can you click this link?" Well, he clicked that link thinking it's business as usual. They got into his system, took all his crypto.
Oh, well,
The bottom line is, if you're the host, it's your link, not theirs.
yes. Okay.
It's your platform, not theirs. If they want to talk to you, hey, I will reach out to you as the host, and you click my link.
Yes.
And it goes from there. So be on guard when it comes to links. Be on guard when it comes to alerts. Be on guard when it comes to unsolicited information from anywhere. Folks will come and knock at your door. Be on guard for that.
Yes.
And this is the biggest thing. When you hear about folks getting taken advantage of, and that's sad. This is what news doesn't tell you. They were in dire straits.
Wow.
They needed money, or they were looking for opportunities. And there you go. Somebody's there, ready to lick the chops. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Opera. When folks are out there and they're having hard times financially, there's always someone waiting to take advantage of you. So if you're 55 and older and you're looking for money-making opportunities, understand it doesn't take money to make money. What I mean by that is you shouldn't have to buy into something in order to get something out of it. If somebody say, oh, I'll take your money and I'll flip it for you. Wrong. Flip your own money. Learn how to do it. There's so much information out there on how to invest and very, very dynamic modules and means in which to do it. Very dynamic industries in which to do it. And so the bottom line is really, really think about what you're doing and what your intent is when it comes to you saying, oh, well, I got scammed. Why? You're being greedy.
Wow. Fear. Let's talk about fear. Fear, where does that play a role in this? Is it easy? Do you believe that elderly people are more fearful, seniors are more fearful? And so, because you have a great point up here, you says no is a good response. Practice no.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing is we're in a society where everybody, and I think we're getting away from that, but everybody's special and and yes, everybody wants to hear yes. And people don't understand no is a good answer too. No has kept me from a lot of calamities in life. And telling people no has kept money in my pocket. And so you've got to be able to navigate the in and the O and say it, as they say, 10 toes down. Every opportunity that comes to you is not for you. No. Even folks come with their hand out, hey, you think you can spend me a little change? Well, hey, I have empathy for the next man that's on hard times. But sometimes, no. No,
Wow.
good answer. No's the answer that makes you say, let me get out here and let me get it for myself. No is the thing that you have to say to make you straighten up in your chair and say, let me figure things out that's going on in my life. No is the thing that should be your clarion call to say, what is going on in my life and how can I fix it so I'm not constantly searching for answers. No is a good answer. It's a good response, and it is a good counter to fear.
Speak to the risk takers, those that, they go at it. They jump, like you were saying earlier. You said you didn't jump head first. Well, what about the head first? Those that just love, the excitement of getting into something, whether they are ignorant or not of the consequences.
Yeah. So that really comes down to decisions, and sometimes you don't know you made the right decision until you're on the other side looking back.
Yes.
And so really it comes down to the individual. And when it comes to risk, you're saying to yourself, is it worth it? That's the
Ah,
question that everybody must ask themselves when it comes to risk. Is it worth it? Do I believe in it enough that if it doesn't go my way, I'll be okay? I've taken risks in life. I've taken a lot of risks in life. I've lost a lot of money.
mhm.
It was worth it. Why? Because I learned from those mistakes and I was able to better manage the risks that I took the next time. I had more insight and it ended up paying off the next time. Now, it's
Yeah.
not the fact that everything was, golden castles and Lucky Charms. I bopped my head a couple of times after it went well, but then I
Wow.
learned again. And
Mhm.
so it's one of those things about life. Life is risk. And so, it comes down to, on my way home, do I go left or do I go right? Well, I went left and, somebody ran the light, ended up crashing to my car.
Mhm.
Ah, hey, sometimes things happen as well. And that's the thing that you have to also be considerate about when it comes to taking risks. Things happen. And
Absolutely.
you can say to yourself, but I dotted all the I's, I crossed all the T's, and it still didn't go my way. Well, guess what? Life happens.
That's life.
Um, we were talking prior to the show, we were talking about stock traders
Mhm.
and how you've got these very well seasoned, skilled individuals who do their technical analysis, and they're like, well, based on my technical analysis, and I understood, where demand and supply is, and where the stock is overbought, and this is where I should get in. This should be my entry and my exit, and I'll take profit here. And then they set up the trade, and then somebody says, we're announcing 100% tariff on China, and they get
Oh,
their entire portfolio.
absolutely.
So the thing is, sometimes you can do everything that you know to do right and well, and then life comes and overrides everything.
Yes.
What do you learn from that? You win some and you lose some. The
Yeah.
biggest thing is, did you put your best foot forward? And was the risk worth taking?
Absolutely. You have a tip up here that says rush for nothing. If it's about to be gone, it probably already is.
Exactly. So, one thing that scammers try to do is to get you galvanized to action.
Wow.
But not just scammers, salesmen do the same thing.
Yes.
They want you to act on the impulse so they can get the sale, so the scammer can get the scam. The bottom line is there's a competition for you from both sides. You're in control. You don't have to rush for anything, because the bottom line is, well, what was the state of your pockets before? And let's say nothing happens. Are you going to be okay? Then good. Ask yourself this question. If you lose it all, are you going to be okay?
Wow.
Well, you might want to reconsider how you're rushing into a situation. Measure all things, hear all things, discern all things. Make the best decision for yourself, make the best decision for your future, and understand what impacts or implications there are when it comes to somebody wanting something from you that you didn't ask them about in the first place.
Absolutely. You have number 5. You said maintaining vigilance and remaining current with technology is the first in many steps to help the 55 and older.
Indeed, indeed. So if you find yourself uh, needing, grandbaby to come and help you do X, Y, and Z on your
Yes.
phone, that should be a wake up call to say, you know what, I probably need to figure something out on how to take care of this technology. If you calling so and so, how you do this now? I do what now? And you're relying on so and so to walk you through it. You got left behind on technology. And so the thing is, and you probably love it because we do it, and
Yes.
we're used to trusting someone to tell us. And again, we're from that era where if you're having a problem, you don't troubleshoot anything. You call somebody else to fix the
I
problem for
do.
you.
Absolutely.
But as we move forward in this technological age, and you have less of an opportunity to talk with a human being, and you're talking more so with a prompt, a AI prompt, you're going to have to learn to figure out how to troubleshoot things for yourself.
Yes.
And yes, it'll be frustrating. I give you an example. I couldn't log into a website. I was trying to check on something, and it kept giving me an error. So I called customer service. I was so glad we got a human being on the phone, and they did me the great favor of resetting my account.
Yes.
Guess who the problem was?
You.
Me, because I was putting in the wrong username.
Oh my goodness.
I was the problem. And so instead of me really taking time to troubleshoot my mistake and figure out what I was doing wrong, I wanted to get somebody to do it for me. And that is one of the things that could potentially make us vulnerable to scamming. Example, just an example. I was having a problem with a computer some years ago. I went online and I went to this website, and it was one of these folks that troubleshoot your
Yes.
computer. And these folks, I gave them control of my computer,
Wow.
and they spent 4 hours. They were charging me $35 an hour. They spent 4 hours on my computer, only to come back and say, "Hey, that'll be $200," and no, we
Ooh.
weren't able to fix it.
Whew. A
Okay,
scam.
scam. Whereas all I really need to do was, you know, reset my computer and just put it back to factory settings. That's all I need to do. There's information out there for us in the 55 and older crew. We have to take control of our own situations and be determined to solve our own problems. Because if you put it in the hands of corporations or unwittingly put it in the hands of a scammer, you're going to get taken either way.
Yes. Absolutely.
55 and older, they keep talking about the wealth transfer. It's coming from us. And so my thing is this wealth transfer going from you to your children or you to some scammer somewhere?
All right.
It's going from you to that family member in your will, or is it going to the banks who are going to, try to get you for some crazy late fee that they just concocted in the fine print of your contract with them? So you are the target, 55 and older. You're the
Yes.
target from corporations. You're the target from scammers. You've got to apply the techniques and the tips to keep yourself vigilant with technology.
Absolutely. Jason, I like this resource you have. You have AARP Fraud Watch Network. I
Yeah,
mean, that's where that's a start. Get
yeah,
there.
definitely a start. There are others, but that is definitely a start for us because AARP is a resource for those of us that are getting up there in age. And that will give us some tips and some techniques and some practices to be able to protect ourselves and to also safeguard those things that are valuable to us.
Wow. Great tips, great information. Jason, give us the last word before I let you go. What is it that you really feel that people at this age must do uh, at all costs?
At all costs, understand the direction of the global financial system. Take time to hear. A lot of folks, they're polarized, politically polarized. I cut through all the politics. I listen to everything this administration says. And they're laying out the blueprint in word and deed of what they're doing, from the financial to the agricultural to even with crude oil, and as well as what do you call it, uh, earth minerals.
Mhm.
When you start hearing this stuff, understand it finds its way back to the financial institutions, and that finds its way back to your pocket somehow through a tax, or through a money making opportunity through the stock market or even the crypto market. Remain vigilant and listen. The U.S. Strategic Crypto Reserve has the specific named cryptos that it holds. Well, if you're in the crypto, hold those crypto.
Mhm.
That's not advice. That's just good common sense from my perspective.
Mhm.
If you hear of the administration making a deal with a particular company, watch the stock.
Mhm.
It's going to do just like this. I've listened, I've read every executive order, I've looked at all of the deals that happened during the presidential conferences with conglomerates, and every time there's a handshake, every time there's a whip of the pencil, that stock explodes.
Wow.
This administration is telling us every single day where the money is. 55 and older who have turned their brains off will miss out.
Woo!
They'll wake up with a splash of cold water in the face from their banks and say, we no longer offer the dollar. We
Mm.
offer our stable coin, and
Wow.
we will charge you 4.5% to be able to convert your cash into stable coins. Well, you can own your own stable coins today, as opposed to waiting for the banks to come and get your money to transition it to crypto. It's coming, and it's been happening over the last several months, and it's been a creep over the last several years. I would say to 55 and older, wake up, keep your minds alert.
And head out the sand.
Exactly.
Jason L. Baker, thank you so much for the information. We look forward to having you on. Uh, we had a lot of folk on TikTok. I mean, a lot of people on TikTok. I'm going to look at the numbers on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And I just want to say thank you for this great subject, for this great topic, for this hot topic, and bringing this information to many folk, many. So you have a good evening, and I'll
Oh,
talk to you real, real soon.
thanks for having me.
God bless you. Wow, I tell you what, I am loving this information. The more I talk with Jason, the more that he's on, the more that I learn. And we're going to continue to have him on because we want to just, from his perspective and, the knowledge that he's gaining, he's learning like us, but he's probably learned more by, having investments on and dabbling in these currencies, cryptocurrencies, and bitcoins, and just listening and not putting his head in the sand. That's key. He made the key points. How older people should protect themselves. One thing he said: old citizens must make every effort to remain vigilant and understand that they are a target. He said also remain skeptical about all unsolicited contact from financial institutions or individuals claiming to represent one. He says nothing is free, nothing is guaranteed, and money-making opportunities should not cost you money to make money. He says no is a good response. Practice no. Rush for nothing. If it's about to be gone, it probably already is. Then he says never click links in text or email. Use the app only. Maintaining vigilance and remaining current with technology is the first in many steps to help the 55 and older crowd from being targeted by would-be scammers in the crypto space and beyond. He references AARP Fraud Watch Network, AARP.org, money scams, fraud, about Fraud Watch. Get on those pages and check out information that we need to know in order to protect ourselves. Some people may say, well, I don't have that much or whatever. Some people can use your identity, social security numbers, all kind of things to get things. And so where you feel like you don't have but a dime or penny and nickel to rub together, honey, some people can take your good name, your identity, and they can do a number on your name. So listen, we thank you so much for joining us. Also, I wanted to share that Wednesday we have a special guest. Make sure you tune into our morning show. We come on our morning show at 9:30 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're on Peace 95.3 FM, WGPL 1350 AM, WPCE 1400, WMVA 88.9 FM, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you join us at 9:30 for our Wednesdays men's issues. And we have a very special guest for you all. Also, our Friday shows, women issues. Come on, join us, ladies. Let's have a good conversation. Also, make sure you give us, what you feel you would like to hear from us, subject matter or special guests. If you have somebody that you said should be on that show, we would love to hear from you. You can inbox me, and also I'll give you the email address in a few minutes. We also will have Chris Hinton talking about real estate. Is this the best time to buy? Is this the best time to sell? Is this the best time to invest? Let's find out more about real estate and the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, what's current, what's changing, what we're doing in real estate in this day and time, buying land, commercial properties. There's so much to know, and it's so much that we need to do when we want to grow our money the right way, when we want to grow money a safe way, when we want to, find great investments. So he'll be on as well. Hot Topics is an after dark. We need some great guests for our Hot Topics. I will be doing that segment, hosting that segment. Please make sure you inbox me and say, look, I got a hot topic. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. Let's serve that tea. Also, We're going to talk about relationships. Who don't want to talk about relationships? Relationships are all around us. We're in some kind of relationship, well, whether it's marriage, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, or what other, you know, your special friends, or interpersonal relationship with mom or with auntie or grandpa, whatever. We have relationships with our siblings and things like that. We could go on and on when it comes to relationships. So we're going to be doing Relationship 2025, and we would love for you all to join us. I will make that announcement for our next relationship show, and we want you to definitely get in the house and get in here and join us. Let's see what else. Serving that tea. We got to serve tea of what's going on in the political world and the entertainment world and the gossip world. We'll be doing that as well. I want to just say to you all that this is October. It's anti-bullying month. Please go to our Bulvick Academy, www.bulvickacademy.com, and get the information, get the books, the games, the app. It's something that we are pushing and promoting, and we don't just do it in October. It's a year-round thing. Bullying is a year-round thing. It is not something that we just pick up in this month, but it's a month that brings awareness to our world about bullying and how treacherous it is. And so please go to Bulvick Academy, check it out, and also Beard Gods. Don't forget Beard Gods. If you want to look good, well groomed, hey, keep that hair looking good, and make sure your man is looking the best he can. Beardgods.com, BeardGodz.com, a great place to go. Like I said, if you all have any suggestions on topics, or someone that you feel like should be on our day show, our morning live show, or our after dark show, inbox me, let me know, or either email FYI radio show live at gmail.com. It's been good having to be here with you and having our special guest, Jason L. Baker. We'll have him back. And we'll be doing some other things around the town, what's going on in our world. And we'll just sit back and have a great dialogue. I wanted to mention that we are trying to pull in the Bulvick on Facebook so we can have dialogue, anti-bullying information. Those that have been bullied, your experience. We don't want just the victim. We want to hear from the bully. We want to hear from the bystanders. We want to hear from parents and teachers and schools and leaders about this thing called bullying. I started in 2013 talking about bullying and what it was. It was right underneath my nose. I discovered, I was like, well, wait a minute. What is this? What? Bullying. And bullying is something that's really, really has just run amok. It is definitely, caught on fire, and it has affected so many people, young and adults. So when we get a chance to pull that page to our live, we are going to definitely be on and having a great conversation. And not only a conversation, but solutions to this problem of bullying. I don't want my youngins, my grand youngins, and their grand youngins and youngins, being affected and being heartbroken or just traumatized by this terrible thing called bullying. So we're going to get that page up and popping. We want to thank you all for showing up. We want to thank TikTok. We left them a little bit earlier, but we want to thank all you all that are on Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. If I didn't get a chance to get to your name, excuse me. There's so many pages that, and I can't see all of them, but whoever is on, we want to thank you for joining us. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell everybody that on Mondays at 6 p.m. we are on with the After Dark, and that Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. we are here with our morning show live. Everything is live. You may be able to see the reposts or some of the programs on after we finish on YouTube and different places. But we are definitely live radio, and we are definitely live on social media. So look, be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. As a matter of fact, I got 2 minutes. Maybe I should just thank everybody that's been on. Thank you for all our special guests. Thank you for all those that provide sponsorship to us. If you want to be a special guest intern or sponsor, you can be that. You can sponsor a segment. You can sponsor the whole show. You can sponsor, something that you're doing, an event. But you can get in touch with us. Again, the number is 757-714-7861. The email is FYIRadioshow at gmail.com, or you can inbox myself, Yolanda Hinton, or co-host Edward Everett. Co-host Edward Everett has not been able to be here on this evening. I don't think he was on last week or the last time we were on, but we just want to shout him out. And you can inbox him at his page as well, Edward Everett, and let him know that you're interested in the show, interested in being a special guest or a sponsor, and also tell him thank you for all that he is doing with co-hosting this show, FYI. We are in it to motivate and inspire you all to rise above mere survival and find success. Get that information and knowledge that you need in order, to be prepared for life. Mr. Baker was talking to us, and he was saying, don't sit back and not stay current. Don't sit back and not, keep your head on straight after a certain age. You don't have time sitting back just rocking, baby. You got too much to learn, too much to do. Your brain is still working and functioning. And so we need you all to just make sure, you take the information and rise above. We want everybody to survive. We want everybody to have great success. So my time is up. You all are a blessing. Thank you for your support. We're going to see you on Wednesday. Got a great guest for you all on our Men Issues segment. And we'll see you then. Have a good, blessed evening. Bye now.